What's going on, y'all? I'm back once again. A little quick upload this week. Some news around the sports world. We'll start out with Jayden Daniels is your 2023 Heisman Trophy winner. Well deserved. He is the fifth Heisman Trophy winner since 2017 that's been a transfer. So it was Baker, Kyler, Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams, and now Jayden Daniels. What a career. Obviously, well known from the jump as a true freshman at Arizona State, shattering Oregon's hearts in the regular season, knocking them out of the playoff all the way up till now. Just been fun to watch him. What a way to go out. Shout out to him. Some of the results, though, he had 503 first-place votes, so it was a landslide. Second was Michael Penix with 292 first-place votes. But he did have the best droop. His jacket was amazing. On the inside of his jacket, if y'all didn't see it, it just had all his teammates' names and all his coaches' names. It was amazing. It was shout out to Michael Penix because that was sick. Bo Nix got third, 51 first place votes. Marvin Harrison Jr. fourth, Jordan Travis fifth, and then to round out the top 10, Jalen Milroe, Ollie Gordon the second, Cody Schrader, Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy. What a race it was. And I think, honestly, I was shocked to see Bo Nix end up getting third, considering it seemed as if they would have won the Pac-12 championship. It was his. So I don't see how, you lose the Pac-12 championship by 3 points and then you got knocked down another. But I do think Jayden Daniels deserved it because, they had 3 losses or whatever, but, he can't play defense. A lot of those losses aren't on him. He just had a career year. It was fun to watch. Glad we got to see it. 2023 Heisman Trophy winner. One of the cool things, though, right after it, they aired a 30 for 30 over the 1997 Heisman Race, and that was awesome. It was the one with Ryan Leaf, Randy Moss, Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson. That was amazing. That was awesome. Because, obviously, for me, wasn't alive. And it was just cool to see how it kind of went back then. Because, social media obviously wasn't a thing. That didn't, influence it at all. So there was, different, articles that would put out the order of the Heisman race each week. And then, do I feel bad for Tennessee fans? From a rival perspective, no. Peyton Manning kind of got cheated. He balled out that season. So, I also didn't realize how drastically different NFL's history would be if he had just taken... He was going to go... I don't remember if it was number 1 or number 2 or something, but the Jets were going to take him after his junior season, and he returned to beat Florida, go win a natty and stuff, and that obviously did not happen. T. Martin won it the next year for Tennessee, but... it was crazy. If y'all haven't seen that, go check out the 30 for 30 on the 97 Heisman race. That was electric. I also did not know, which this is shame on me for not knowing it as a college football fan. I didn't know Randy Moss was committed to Notre Dame at first and then got in trouble. And then I think he committed to Florida State and then got kicked off or something a couple weeks in. And then that's why he went to Marshall. I kind of thought just he was an under-the-radar guy that just got overlooked, but that's what a story. What a receiver he became. But so some of the other awards, the Doak Walker Award, the running back, best running back in the country, Ollie Gordon the second. I feel like this one was kind of a late push because Omarion Hampton, North Carolina, he had a case for it. Cody Schrader had a case for it out of Missouri. There was a lot of good running backs in college football. Blake Corum. But Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State, runs away with it towards the end. He's balled out. And he's already in the top 5, top 6, top 7-ish of the Heisman race looking forward towards next year. So, bright future out there for the Pokes. The Biletnikoff Award, Marvin Harrison Jr. wins it. To me, that's understandable. Yes, he is the most talented receiver. No, he didn't have the best numbers. Malik Neighbors definitely had better numbers. You can't argue with black and white. There's just the numbers don't lie. Malik Neighbors, though, lost by 1 point. It was a tight race. Marvin Harrison Jr. edges it out. And he's got to be joking about returning. I get it. NIL probably gives a lot of money, but go to the draft, dude. Like, it'd be cool. It would be cool because obviously college football, my favorite thing. I'd watch college football over NFL any day, so it'd be cool for me. But like, come on, dude. Like, I just don't see a world where that makes sense. But hey, his world though. The Chuck Bednarik Award, the Defensive Player of the Year. Peyton Wilson out of NC State. He had a heck of a year. So shout out to Peyton Wilson. I mean, he won nearly every defensive award that he could have won. And then outside of that, I mean, Brock Bowers, back-to-back. I don't remember the tight end trophy name. Whatever that is, back-to-back with that. And then the Coach of the Year, Kalen DeBoer, out in Washington. Completely understandable. I feel like this is another, like, screw you to Mike Norvell. Like, he also went undefeated. So, I don't know. If I was Florida State, I'd be double mad now. Like, Kalen DeBoer getting it. But, I mean, it's well-deserved no matter who it goes to. Like, they both went undefeated. Jim Harbaugh went undefeated. Like, if you go undefeated, yeah, you're probably going to get that. Shout out Kalen DeBoer. Doing one heck of a job out there in Washington. So for college football, we had Army versus Navy football game, one of the best rivalries in all of sports. Army won 17-11. This game was awesome. This game always delivers. Whole lot of running from Army. Navy passed quite a bit, nearly 200 passing yards for them. But the craziest thing was the ending, because if you're into betting, the over/under was set at 27.5, and Army ends up stopping Navy at the 1. So it almost seems like it's going to be dead 17-9, like they had missed a 2-point conversion and stuff. So it's 17-9. Army stops them, and then he just runs out the back of the end zone as the time expires, gets a safety, and it becomes 17-11, which hits the over. That's one you'll remember forever. So that was an awesome way for that one to go out. For college basketball, this was about a week ago now. Dylan Harper commits to Rutgers. Son of Ron Harper and little brother of Ron Harper Jr. And Dylan Harper is the highest rated recruit to ever commit to Rutgers. So, I mean, obviously Dylan Harper is an elite talent. Like, y'all seen the videos of, him at Steph Curry's camp and stuff. He's elite. If it wasn't for the alien named Cooper Flagg, he would be number 1 in the class. But he's number 2, and he's pairing up in Piscataway with number 3 overall, Ace Bailey. So, both class of 2024, it's going to be fun. Rutgers has already got a good thing going on. And Cliff can return for Rutgers, which would be insane if you have him pair up with them. If he returns, I'm talking Final Four bound. Like, Rutgers got it going on. So that's super cool. I'm here for it. Dylan Harper going there is one of the coolest things. Loved watching Ron Harper Jr. and then all the stories of Ron Harper Sr., obviously. So, yeah, it'll be fun there. One of the notes with this one, though, about an hour before Dylan Harper posted it, Woj posted it. So Adrian Wojnarowski, for those of y'all that don't know, there's a certain crowd that has like a beef with him, and there's like the rivalry, Shams versus Woj, and like all this different stuff. But Woj posted it an hour before, which I think is kind of, technically he's doing his job, but in a way you're taking the shine from the kid's moment. Let the kid post it. But like if Shams was to figure that out and then he posted, then like Woj gets beat. It's literally the name of the game. You just gotta beat out your opponent. So can't necessarily hate the guy for it, but it did take away the shine a little bit. So we got a Woj bomb before Dylan Harper even announced. So it was bad look. Bronny James debuted, LeBron's son. He played 17 minutes, had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. But he actually played good. Coming off the cardiac arrest, it's tough to come back from that. And he only missed 8 games when a lot thought it could be longer than that. But the key takeaway, he had a chase down block just like his pops. So they put it like side by side. I don't know if it was ESPN, Bleacher Report, whatever. He had a chase down block, beat it off the backboard. But they actually lose this game to Long Beach State. And, Bronny is not... I don't think Bronny will start at all this year, but he'll be one heck of a role player. With guys like Collier, Kobe Johnson, Boogie Ellis. Like, those guys are just going to get all the minutes in front of him. But with him coming off the bench, that's going to be scary. Like, he's going to be one heck of a bench player for USC this year. But, yeah, losing to Long Beach State is... I don't remember the name of that guard, but there was a guard for Long Beach State that went off in front of LeBron, which is one of few people that would be, like, on the list of best people to just go off in front of. So, yeah, Bronny's back. It's super cool. And Arizona right now look like the best team in the country, and they are ranked number 1 in the country right now. This past weekend they beat number 23 Wisconsin, 98-73, and Caleb Love looks like he got a lot of fault at North Carolina for being like the issue. He does not look like the issue now. Like, he is balling. And a lot of people have the memory of Arizona falling to Princeton in the tournament, whatever. Arizona's good. Tommy Lloyd's got him playing well. I think it's Kashad Johnson is the one that Kentucky recruited from San Diego State, coming off the national championship run last year. Defensively, he's locked down. And Caleb Love can score on anybody's favorite player right now. So Arizona's got it going on. With a big game this week in Indianapolis. So Saturday at 4:30, we get number 1 Arizona versus number 3 Purdue. This will be a big test. I think if you can go in it's not a home game for Purdue, but it's basically a home game. If you can go there and knock off number 3, that might prove that you're the dominant team in college basketball this year. So it's a game to watch out for. Also Saturday, 12:30, we have number 2 Kansas at Indiana. This one's going to be awesome. Assembly Hall is going to be rocking. Kansas might be on upset watch. Friday night, we have number 5 UConn versus number 10 Gonzaga. Gonzaga coming off the loss to Washington this past week, which snapped their 20-something game win streak versus Pac-12 opponents. So, yeah, that game was awesome. But, yeah, number 5 UConn versus number 10 Gonzaga at 10 o'clock on Friday night in Seattle. Then Saturday at 5:30 in Atlanta, we got my Cats, number 14 overall in the AP poll, versus number 9 North Carolina. This will be a good test. Just coming off the Penn win, and it was kind of Aaron Bradshaw's coming out party in that one. So I'm excited for this one. Like, this will be a great test. Armando Bacot's not a guy to lay down, so it'll be a tough matchup down low. And then, the way Harrison Ingram's playing, Elliot Cadeau, it's going to be a good matchup guard-wise. I'm excited for that matchup. And then Saturday at 3, another notable game, undefeated, number 13 Clemson at Memphis. Memphis is hot. Memphis is playing great ball right now. So, it's just some of the games to watch out for this week. And sticking with basketball, the NBA in-season tournament was electric. So it ended a few nights ago. This was the words of Kevin Durant. The intensity of these games has been incredible. I wasn't a fan, but now I'm a huge fan of the in-season tournament. And I think that's really speaking for everybody. At first, I was not sure about it, didn't know how it would go, and I think it couldn't have gone better for Adam Silver and all those behind the scenes there. So in Vegas, I think, so this was the Final Four game. The semifinals, Bucks versus Pacers. This was this had set the highest over-under of all time. It was like 257 or something. The under hit. It was Pacers that won, though, 128-119. And if you all haven't been paying attention to the NBA, the T-Wolves are really good. They're the best team statistically in the league right now. And then the Pacers have the greatest offense of all time statistically by 4 points. They're ridiculous. They're so fun to watch. And part of the reason is Tyrese Halliburton. So in this game versus the Bucks, he had 27 points, 15 assists, no turnovers, and 7 rebounds. And he also pulled out the Dame celebration. So it was like Dame time. He did it right in front of Damian Lillard. And they asked Dame about it after the game, and he just said, stay humble. So then, if you know what happened after that, yeah, he needed to be humbled. But before we get to that game after that, Lakers versus Pelicans was the other semifinal game. Lakers won 133-89. Not a lot to say about this one, but LeBron had the fastest 30-point game in Lakers history. He finished with 30 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. So LeBron just abusing father time right now. And then the championship game, Lakers-Pacers. This is honestly another reason it went perfect for Adam Silver. You get the historic greatness from the Lakers, probably the biggest fan base in the country, and then you get this small market team, the Pacers, that are just fun to watch, kind of an underdog story, and you get them probably the Pacers aren't going to make the finals. In a 7-game scenario, no. But in these 1-game scenarios, teams like the Pacers can go far, and they make it to the championship. And then Anthony Davis just does everything. He must hate Indiana. Anthony Davis had 41 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks. It was unreal. He absolutely balled out. And it still backs up my claim that when he is healthy, he's the best big in the NBA. Over Jokic, over Joel Embiid. It's just the issue of staying healthy. But LeBron ends up winning the in-season tournament MVP, he deserved it. Like, obviously, if it was a 1-game scenario, there's no reason Anthony Davis wouldn't have that. But what he did the entire tournament, it was just amazing. So, the Lakers won the first one ever. So, I mean, it was kind of a lose-lose situation for the Lakers going into it and LeBron. Because, like, if you win it, and it's like, all right, well, Mickey Mouse championship doesn't count. Whatever. This was made for you. Or if they lose that, then they just say can't win the big ones, and he chokes, whatever. It was a tough spot for LeBron. But to start to wrap things up here, the new NCAA NIL change. This is kind of something that got shrugged under the radar. But as a college fanatic, with college basketball, college football, this is huge. So schools will be able to create an NIL collective from the school so that they can stop it from just being like random people out in the community or whatever and just having like boosters. So now schools can make and pay players, essentially. This will possibly change how college football works because they'll probably have to make like a different playoff, different championship and everything for like group of 5 schools because schools like Liberty aren't going to have the same funds as in Alabama or something like that. So, which I think isn't a bad thing. Like Liberty will never win a national championship right now. So I think it'd be a good thing, honestly. And this could also end up changing March Madness because, some of these teams won't be able to like end up making it. It's gonna affect all these little schools. It's just gonna be crazy. And with Title IX, which is the men's women's equality rule that was placed into the NCAA, with Title IX, this is going to affect like Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, USC, like all these schools that really, really care about football. They're going to pay all this money to get these football recruits and get all these great players, whatever. But they also have to spend the same amount for girls. So you're going to notice that like with this rule change, Alabama's women's basketball is going to just be goated. Ohio State, Michigan, like all those teams like that are paying out the butt for football, it's going to translate onto women's basketball, volleyball, whatever. It's going to be crazy. And the one thing, though, that this will help, because it sounds like a lot of pessimism from me, teams like Vanderbilt that are bottom of the conference, don't have great alumni that are offering money back. Vanderbilt's going to have a lot of money from the school, and they also make the same amount of money, for the most part, as like Alabama, Georgia, for Kentucky for us. Like, we all make the same money because we're all in the same conference. Vandy will thrive from this. They'll be able to get a lot more recruits, different stuff like that. So it'll help those smaller teams in conference. It's a huge deal, and it kind of got swept under the radar, and not a lot of people talked about it. So just thought I'd throw that in here. And then a couple guys that got paid over this past week. Shohei Ohtani signs with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Signs the biggest contract in North American sports history. 10-year, $700 million. It is unreal. To put it into perspective, the current NFL MVP favorite, Brock Purdy, on his current salary, would have to play for 805 years to make Shohei Ohtani's new contract money. Like, that is ridiculous. I get baseball's different, but, like, 800, that's $700 million so much money. Like, I don't even have to, like, stress that. But it's always fun to break it down into like the smaller margins. Shohei Ohtani is going to be making $2.39 every second over the next 10 years. That is ridiculous. He could go to a vending machine, buy something, and by the time it drops to the bottom, he will have made the money back. That's just an insane thing to think about. Other than that, Jon Rahm leaves the PGA Tour after kind of hinting that he would not even consider to live. But he leaves the PGA to go to the Live Golf League for a 3-year, $300 million deal, plus an ownership stake in a new Live team. So it's an interesting deal. But one thing I'll note, he was very good in his speech or whatever after. He was like the second thing he said was, I'd be lying if I said money wasn't part of this. Obviously. Like, nobody really means it when they say they're going over there to like change golf for the better and stuff. Like, you're going for the money. And John admits that. So, I'm pretty sure like they're still doing the thing where all these guys are still allowed to play in majors and stuff. But, coming off of Masters this past year, it was a shocking move. But, can't blame him. $300 million. And lastly, I didn't talk a lot of NFL, or I didn't talk any NFL at all. Just because I'm not going to lie and act like I know all of the NFL and stuff. But I watch it still. Love watching the NFL. The Kadarius Toney overturned touchdown is kind of taking over the world right now. So, for those of y'all that didn't see it, Kadarius Toney lined up, like, to make it as simple as possible, passed the ball, which is considered an offsides, or I guess a false start, but offsides, really. And he runs a route, whatever, doesn't get the ball thrown to him. Travis Kelce catches the ball, throws it backwards for a backwards lateral, and Kadarius Toney turns it into a touchdown. Which we did find out later that was not, like, scripted that way. Like, they did not, like, draw it up to do that. Travis Kelce just did it, which makes that, like, the greatest touchdown of all time. But he gets called back because he was offsides. And, yeah, it was sad to see the, historic play get called back. But the one of the biggest takeaways right now is Patrick Mahomes, the way he reacted. Obviously, he was heated on the sideline, threw his helmet down, started yelling at the ref, yelling at, like, players, all this different stuff. And after the game, when him and Josh Allen go to shake hands, over, like, 3 minutes later, he, like, goes up to him. He says, "That's the worst effing call I've ever seen." Like, Patrick, like, you're the best quarterback in the NFL. Chill out, man. Like, I think they're 9-4, 8-4. Like, they're going to be fine. Like, this game doesn't mean a whole lot to them, but it means a lot to the Bills for their future. But, like, chill out. Like, you don't need to, like, try to lie and say all this stuff. Like, they don't need to call that, whatever. Because he was trying to say, like, they don't need to call that. They need to, like, maybe, like, tell him, warn him before the play or something. But, like, with him complaining, saying it was, like, a 50-50 call that, like, they don't need to call, brings up the Super Bowl from last year where it was a 50-50 call that went the Chiefs' way when they called the PI on James Bradbury. So, yeah, tough look for Patrick Mahomes. Nonetheless, he was just sitting there crying about it, whining about it, and a lot of people lost respect for him. I still love Patrick Mahomes. Like, that, nothing's going to take that away. But, yeah, it's a bad look. And Andy Reid was just about doing the same thing. So, it was a tough look for the Chiefs. But for those of y'all that do follow NFL but, like, haven't seen that AFC picture, the AFC race right now on who's going to make the playoffs is absolutely unreal. It's, like, one of the coolest things I can remember in NFL history. Like, this race is unreal. There's, like, 30 teams it looks like can make it. It's coming down to the end. It's going to be a tight race. And yesterday, the Cowboys beat the brakes off the Eagles. So the Eagles have lost 2 straight by, like, 20 plus. It's pretty sweet. Like, the NFC kind of has just their 3 right now that are kind of top the rest. But, like, I guess the Ravens are the best in the AFC, but they almost lost to the Rams yesterday. So I don't really know. It's a tight race. It's fun, though. It's definitely a fun thing for me as a viewer to be able to enjoy the NFL this year. But I guess that'll just about do it. Quick little upload for this week. Just some news and stuff around college football, college basketball, and a little NFL and NBA. So thank you all for tuning in. Once again, go follow the Instagram, go follow the TikTok. Post quite a bit over there. And yeah, so thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy some college basketball games that we have, and enjoy all the sports going on right now. Leave some comments, show some love, subscribe, and thank you. Peace.